And then tell us a little bit more about HomeSource Custom Homes and when you started it, why you started it, how it's going.
So my dad actually started the company.
Wow.
It was in '84. I think I was about 13. Uh, anyway, we started in a little strip mall in Barnhart, and in '91 we moved here to where we are right now in Arnold, right off the auto road. But we've always done custom homes. We don't do neighborhoods or anything like that, and we build on the customer's lot. 2014 is when me and my dad became partners, and since then he's passed. But for now, it's just me.
Mhm. So I talked a little bit to Cyrus, and I mean the homes that I've seen and everything and investigated are just fantastic.
Yeah, they're all unique. We've never done the same one.
That's
So
awesome. That's awesome. So tell me what you know about the Cardinal Cowboy, about any of his shows or the Your Little Castle show.
So I don't know a whole lot about it. I see the Cardinal Cowboy all the time at the home show. I think I've seen him at the Battlehawks game once. And anyway, I kind of heard he's got something to do with the towel guy, maybe in the Blues. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot, but
Yeah, they are good buddies. Yeah.
okay.
So
Yeah, tell me and our friends.
this is
Okay.
Carter. He's
Sure,
known
I'll
as-
share a little. So
Yeah.
the Cardinal Cowboy thing is an idea that came about as of my baseball career got ended by a drunk driver. So I was in a
Oh,
bad
wow.
accident. Yeah, I was hit by a drunk driver. I was in a coma. I pulled a ventilator out of my own throat, and then I thought, well, what compelled me to do that? And it was my baseball background. I think that gave me that drive to pull through that. So they said they were going to have to take care of me the rest of my life. I wouldn't listen to them, so I just kept going. Ended up going to Anheuser-Busch. I started off answering phones, telling people how to send an email. I said, hey, I built a Microsoft Exchange server in my basement. I'd like to do this for you guys on a corporate level. They're like, well, we'll give you a shot. Within a couple of years, I was building the corporate email systems all around the world and the big systems downtown. And then InBev came in, laid everybody off. I've got a master's degree. I went off, got my master's degree. So they said, you're double fired, right? Can't have anybody that's got that much education. That you're too expensive. So I went off to do internet marketing sales for a company called Reach Local. I became their number one guy in the entire company. They're Google's biggest partner at the time, responsible for about 2% of Google's revenue. Then I went off to start my own company. I ended up bringing on a company called CarShield. Are you familiar with CarShield?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I did their internet marketing for a while. Then they decided they could do it themselves. I taught their internal guy kind of how to do it. And then so I went on my way. But their lawyer asked me, what was going on, why I wasn't working with them anymore. I said, well, they decided they could do it themselves. He said, how about I see your little TV show? Along the way, ABC had approached me and said, hey, we see you running around in the community, helping people, going to events. Would you like to have a little TV show here on ABC in St. Louis? I was like, sure. What can I do with that? And they're like, you decide what you want to do with it. So I decided it would be a good opportunity for me to put my smaller business clients on there to give them the kind of the big spotlight. So we started doing that. The production quality was great, but we didn't really know what we were doing. We weren't making enough money at it. So I quit doing it. But that's when the judge came in a few weeks later. He's like, what happened to the show? I said, well, we just didn't know what we're doing. He goes, how about we pay for all that for you? So I was like, that'd be great. So now it's sponsored by CarShield. They paid for the airtime. They paid for the studio. That studio was $2,600 every time we went in there. And then we started bringing on all these local business celebrities, if you will, not business celebrities, but celebrities. Some of them are business, but and Wesley Bell, Anthony Bonner, Kerry Robinson, Jay Ashcroft, and to talk about themselves. I snuck in a couple of my business owner friends. I said, hey, just cover a little bit of the production costs for me, and then you can take this video, put it on your website, do whatever you like. So a couple of clients did that. One of them got back to us. He said, Carter, I use that video. I want to do this again. I said, why? He goes, because I've made $480,000 off that video. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But he said it just helps people, especially on big ticket items, to say, hey, now I know who you are. He does James Hardy Siding. Are you familiar with James Hardy Siding? I'm sure.
Yes.
And so he sells those jobs that are $30,000 to $50,000. He claims he got 12 jobs. He tracked back to the phone call. People just call and say, hey, I've watched your interview on ABC. I'd like to have you do my James Hardy. So then we decided to open this up for everybody. And I ran off, I quit my job working. I went to work for, after I lost the gig with the Car Shield guys, I went off and started my own, I started working for Dex Media. It's the Yellow Pages. Now they're called Thrive. And I was their number one guy in the company there as well. And figured out that, I could do this video thing kind of on the side while I sold them the software that we offered that automated their business stuff. Then I kind of asked, hey guys, I've been doing this for a while. I got an idea for you. They say that they weren't interested in talking about it. So I said, I quit. And so we started off about 2 years ago. It was November of 2021. I said, I'm going to go off and do this thing myself. And we just kind of gone gangbusters since then. We got 3 shows a week now. And so what businesses do is they pay us a little bit to produce this whole show for them. And it's pretty much a no-brainer for people who have big ticket items, because if they get one sale, I mean, in your case, it might be like a quarter of one sale. Now they'll make all that money back. And then that video is not good just for this first sale that they got. It's good for, this guy's been using these videos for 2 and 3, 4 years. They're all shot in high def, so they look great, and you can use them for years. You can also steal images out of them because they're all high shot in that same resolution. So now we just kind of created a monster, and we're selling our shows out like crazy. So with that, I'll show John, go show it a couple things. We'll show you. I got a little presentation, just kind of show you the way we put this together. But we love having guys like you on. They've been a successful, family-oriented, family business, and kind of give the smaller businesses a chance to compete with the big guys. Because I've worked at Anheuser-Busch. I saw what the big television commercial stuff did for them, and said, hey, man, I can bring this to the smaller businesses. So we teamed up with Carroll House Furniture. They sponsor our show. Brooks, a friend of mine, he's been on the show a few times because you like nice things in your little castle. He thought that was cute what I did there. But USA Mortgage, I ended up getting my mortgage license along the way. And we were going to do this for more mortgage, real estate related stuff. But everybody knows what's happened to the real estate world here the last couple of years.
Right.
So now you can see we've got a list of, we've interviewed over 100 business owners. There's kind of a sample right there. This is a little bit of the background of myself. You've heard me talk a little bit about, but I was one of the top internet marketing guys in the world a couple times for a couple of the biggest companies in the world. And then I've gone on to do some crazy fun stuff. The Cardinals put me up. I got interviewed live during a Cardinal game that was only viewable on Facebook, and just turned into some really cool, fun stuff. So the real idea behind this is it just helps you to earn the business that get you the business you earned. So often people they're heard about, right? And they say, hey, I get my stuff by word of mouth, and people go check out my website. And then they're still kind of like, well, they look good, but there's a couple I did a Google search and I found some of their competitors, or their competitors show up right when they search for you because they got other openings right underneath spot number 1 and spot number 2. Now they show your competitors. Well, when people see this video, they go, wait a minute, now I get it. These guys are legit. They've been on ABC. I got to really understand the process. And so these videos have really just helped businesses. They've earned the business. They're losing some of it because the competitor, the big guys, are coming and spending all the money and putting up commercials and doing all that stuff. So it helps you to just keep stuff that you've earned, and all you really need is one deal, and you'll get back what for the rate that we do these shows for. It'll also help you win deals when they find you versus a competitor. You've got a video, they don't many times, so you look good compared to them, and then you can gain a lot of attention from the video because we cut it up into clips for you too, and we send you a folder with all the clips in it, and you can download those clips and upload them. We actually help you with that. My personal social media has gone from where we were getting 50,000 people, 60,000 people a month. Now we're up to 360,000 people a month, just because we practice what we preach. We put out these clips out there for people to see, and they look dynamite on. And it's great because I don't have to go out and film anything. They've already been filmed. I just keep putting them out there. We schedule them with scheduling software to do that. So after 12 years in corporate America, AB and Citicorp for 2 years at the beginning of all that, and then 16 years doing this, I took the leap. And now with this approach from ABC, we've decided this really is something that it's gone crazy. It's really, we're like oversold now. So we're going to start cutting things in half pretty soon. We're going to say but it's still a good value. But right now we haven't done that yet. So here's what we offer. We actually have, and some of the stuff we've done, but this is Charlie. He took this video, didn't waste any time. The video is literally like we record it. It's TV quality the way it comes out of the box. I'm a computer nerd. So I've set this up to where all the titles and everything get put up and put on during the production. So that saves a lot of editing to do afterwards. The ABC logo goes in the corner. You can see he's got there. And so Charlie put this on his video on his website right away because he knows if he just gets one deal out of this. He's been actually on the show twice now, talk about hail damage as well. And then you can see what that compares to with a website that doesn't have a video like that. Here's Isaac. His low end was 30,000. So on the low end, he made 360,000. The average is 40,000 because he gave us a number between 30 and 50. So 40, he made $500,000 on his video. And that's why he came back to do another video. So we appreciate Isaac. But the biggest thing we're really helping businesses to do is to increase that conversion rate. You're getting a ton of people that are interested in you. They're coming to your website, but they're going somewhere else because they don't have a real reason to be compelled to make a decision when they land on your website. So everybody's going to do that kind of research when they're looking at spending a couple $100,000. So that's what we do. Here's what we produce. Right now we're doing 2 30-minute interviews, 2 28-minute shows where you really get 8 questions divided up between 2 shows, 16 questions total, 8 questions each show. And it really helps you to explain who you are, what you're about, how you help the community, the businesses that you compete with. You can talk about how you're better than the rest. And then we give you all those clips. When we were producing this through the Car Shield guys and what we did with that other studio, it would cost anybody about $7,500 to do this because you got to rent the studio. I built my own studio. It's in my house and it's got TV walls. I just had a buddy of mine come in and he's a former NFL guy. He works for Big Brothers Big Sisters. We work with a lot of charities too. I was in that bad accident. So now I get to try to get back working with a lot of charities. He's like, man, this studio looks as good as NBC, ABC, all the other guys. I've seen all their studios, CBS, all them. So we produce the whole thing right now for $24.99. Get you 2 28-minute interviews. We'll air one of those. Right now we're throwing in, we can air the second one too. We've got a little extra airtime from ABC. And we say, if you're interested, then just let us know that by saying, hey, we'll give you $600. You put $600 down. A lot of people, then they also schedule the interview at the same time. So then it's another $600. Then you're about halfway there. And then everybody, it's interesting. People get done. I just wait and they go, hey man, well, how do I settle up with you for the rest of this? I just did the interview. I want to make sure this thing airs. And they write me a check right there or give me a credit card number. And then there's just the remaining $12.99 is due at the end of the interview. Then you're all paid up. Then the thing airs. And then we give you all the content for you to use on your social media. Do you do some stuff with your social media? Have you done any video like this in the past?
Yeah, I mean, we do. We got a guy we work with. What's the name of their company? Aerial Optics, I think.
Mhm.
So, what's his name?
George Weiss.
Yeah, I know George.
Yeah, he's in charge of all our Facebook and stuff like that. So
Okay.
I could see him taking this content and just using it also. So.
Right. Yeah. I know George a little bit. He and I talked about teaming up a little bit. George he's a really good videographer, and does he work with you on your SEO too?
Well, we have Ken Tucker doing the SEO. What's the name of his company? Changescape, doing the SEO and the website stuff.
Yeah. Well, then I would just throw this on. This would be like gasoline on the fire because it'll help you convert those businesses. You're getting it sounds like you're getting a lot of traffic with the social media you're doing, the SEO you're doing, but then when they land, what happens? And that's what, when we converted, when I took over for Car Shield, I took their conversion rate to 24%. That means almost 1 out of 4 converted from visit to lead. So that's a crazy, outrageous number, but that's what we got good at because it's all about that landing page and what did they land? What did they see when they got on their website? So we'd love to have you on. I mean, any other questions you got for me? Would you like to be on the show?
Yeah, I think so. Yep.
Okay. Then all we really need to do is schedule you. When is good for you? Who did your website?
Ken Tucker,
Ken Tucker,
Changescape.
Yeah, he did the website then. Yeah. Yeah. So then as long as you got a good relationship with him, that'll work great because we just give you all the content and he'll put it out there on you want to put that on your landing pages, etc. But that saves me a lot of work because a lot of times I can become a coach. Say, how do you use content? What do you do with it? A guy like that will know exactly what to do. But yeah, well, let's just get you scheduled. We still have time available. If you wanted to get in this week, we could, and you tell me. I've got time on.
Yeah, this week won't work.
So this week would be tough, but early next week or mid next week.
Yeah.
Does that work for you?
Yeah, so I'm coming in for the interview. That's what we're scheduling.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I can't see my calendar, so.
Yeah, you can pause the video.